You know, the whys of spiritual life are probably too fast and too different for each person to even to begin to discuss. But I thought over the next couple of days we would look at people's enlightened experiences, ways that they have seen or grown in an understanding from some experience, internal, external, however you want to define that. So today I was going to look at Ekhart Tolle. He is very straightforward with his experience in the beginning. And so I'm just going to read it with you and share it here for a second. He says, I cannot live with myself any longer. This was the thought that kept repeating itself in my mind. Then suddenly I became aware of what a particularly bizarre thought that was. Am I one or two? If I cannot live with myself, there must be two of me. And the I and the self that I cannot live with, maybe, I thought, only one of them is real. So this was in one of his very depressive moments when he was feeling really down about his life and the world. He openly discusses the fact that he was diagnosed with severe depression. So he was waking up in the middle of the night and thinking, who is this I that I can't live with? And which is really struck me, because isn't that a familiar way of talking to ourselves? Oh, I can't stand this anymore. We're the ones doing what we can't stand anymore. So it's interesting that he understood that one of them is real and one of them not, because you are a singularity, a single person. He talks about the next morning. He says, I was awakened by the chirping of a bird outside the window. I had never heard such a sound before. Now, certainly he had heard a bird chirping, but there was a different quality. Means that the world has changed because something in him has changed, and he's seeing something very differently now. My eyes were still closed, and I saw the image of a precious diamond. Yes, if a diamond could make a sound, this is what it would be like. I opened my eyes. The first light of dawn was filtering through the curtains. Without any thought, I felt, I knew, that there is infinitely more to light than what we realize. That soft luminosity filtering through the curtains was love itself. Tears came into my eyes. I got up and walked around the room. I recognized the room, and yet I knew that I had never truly seen it before. Everything was fresh and pristine, as if it had just come into existence. I picked up things, a pencil, an empty bottle, marveling at the beauty and aliveness of it all. That day I walked around the city in utter amazement at the miracle of life on earth, as if I had just been born into this world. For the next 5 months, I lived in a state of uninterrupted, deep peace and bliss. After that, it diminished somewhat in intensity, or perhaps it just seemed to, because it became my natural state. I could still function in the world, although I realized that nothing I ever did could possibly add anything to what I already had. Isn't that beautiful? What an amazing state to be in. And there's so much talk about it, but words seem so dry when you run across somebody who's actually seen this. The world made new every moment, things coming into existence freshly at every moment, the pristine joy and beauty of life itself, the possibility of consciousness, the possibility of seeing and touching and tasting and understanding, being moved by what we see and what we can't possibly understand. To have a glimpse of that joy, that glimpse of that underlying security of love and faith in well-being, to be able to have an understanding, of an experience of that lasts the rest of your life, that changes you forever. Indeed. Indeed.